Hello, everyone. Welcome to this class, How to Always Get a Yes When Prospecting. We're so glad that you're here. I'm Bess McCarty, teaching this class along with Jeffrey David Gamble of My Leadership Network, and we are representing together our school, Generic School, the MLM Millionaire Club School for Generic School for Network Marketers. So this is a sample class for you of our school and the powerful, valuable things that we teach within the school. The favorite thing that we teach is how to always get a yes when prospecting. So that's what we wanted to present here on an open house. And I'm going to introduce us in a little bit, who we are and our background and on all that before we dive into it. Stay on the call till the end. We're going to be giving away free personal growth books, John Maxwell and other books. So we invite you to join us all the way through, because this is going to be the greatest value, of course, is learning this method. It can 10x or 100x your business. So I think you're going to really enjoy this. Before we get going much more, I would like to introduce a friend and student who's been in the school for a while with us, and she is an incredible network marketer from Austin, Texas. When I used to live there, I knew Joyce through our networking groups. And I've asked her to come on and just speak for a minute because she has to go soon to be with family, but she has kindly agreed to come on for a few minutes here and let us know just what this method that you're about to learn, very valuable method. She's going to share what this has done for her businesses. And Joyce is 412, if we can unmute her.
Okay, I think I've been unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, fabulous. Well, do you want to start off by asking questions, or how would you like me to proceed?
Well, mostly, people are about to learn this method, and so I think they'd like to hear, well, what's in it for them? What has it done for someone else in their businesses, specifically? Any, before and after examples, or exactly what they might be able to expect from this method.
Okay, well, my understanding that today's call is going to be focused on using the Always Get a Yes script, and I'm not going to take the thunder from Bess and Jeff, but I've been training with them for about a year, and I plug in almost daily to their lunchtime leadership show, which has been going through the leadership principles of John Maxwell, and then also we recently went through Think and Grow Rich during the anniversary month of June, I guess it was, and just appreciate their training. It's really been invaluable for myself, and I've also been able to introduce several other team members to Beth and Jeff to invite them because it's definitely been just a daily dose of information, inspiration, helping to get better and better in the profession. But in terms of the Always Get a Yes script, it's a very simple, easy-to-use method that really takes all the fear out of approaching warm market and those that we come into contact with by just asking for a brief favor. And also, instead of going straight for a sale, it's more, if you come across the right person, maybe you could refer me. You just take time to learn a little bit about what I'm doing so that if you come across the right person. So with that, I guess I'll let Beth and Jeff take it over, but I so much appreciate their coaching. Personally, I'm in several companies, and I have advanced ranks in all of them pretty much by just using this simple method and script.
Thanks, Joyce. Do you think it's taken the fear out of prospecting?
Yeah, it definitely has, and it's I guess when it's just a natural way to share with people and let them know what you're doing, to see if there's a possibility to work together, if they know somebody who may be interested. And so, yes, it has definitely made it much more comfortable. I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but it allows you to come across as not being desperate. It's okay if you have a conversation with somebody and they're not interested. It's fine. You just move on to the next person and just take it from there.
Cool. Thank you. And has it helped you to train your team to do the same thing?
It absolutely has, yes.
A lot easier. Okay, thanks, Joyce, and I hope you enjoy your family the rest of this holiday weekend. Thank you so much for taking time to come on, because I know that you are very busy and very successful in several companies. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Beth, and I appreciate it.
And I'm so glad that all of everyone listening here, present today, and people who will be here in the replay, I'm so glad that you can come on and join us for this hour and learn and understand how easy and how simple it can be, and learn this simple way to present to people through any method, texting or calling or Facebook or LinkedIn, because you know that the ability to grow your business depends on the key to growing your business depends on the ability to let people know what you do and to let a lot of people know what you do. So you have to have an easy, simple way to do this, right? So our goal today is to teach you the simple method, all within this class, of how to invite. We're going to share with you that kind of magic script that Joyce was referring to about how to invite people that never gets a no. It takes away fear. It's not about them. It bypasses objections. It asks because it asks permission. It works with all four personalities, genders, cultures, influences, genders. Works with all people who have already said no to you for your business. It does not need a video. It's simple, easy, and duplicatable. So this is what we're here to teach you today, this script, and then what you do after that when they say yes. You know, I want to hear your presentation. Then we're going to teach you today how to do that 10-minute presentation that we recommend and why and all of that. So we hope that you walk away, our aim today is that you walk away with the tools to go out and use this right away in building your business. And of course, we'll let you know where you can find out more of our lessons too in our school, the MLM Millionaire Club. And yeah, the link to that, I'll just give it right now in case anybody has to run. But if you would like more, that would be at mlmmillionaireclub.com/basics. That's where you can get more of this information, mlmmillionaireclub.com/basics. I think you'll find it very, very, very affordable, too. So we tried to make it that way for people. So what we will teach today is going to help you, if you like, to 10x or 100x your business. What would happen to your business if you 10x'd it, if you had 10 times as many appointments, 10 times as many presentations, 10 times as many customers, and 10 times as many leaders as you do now? And what would happen if your team did the same thing? What would your business look like? Now, when I hear about 10xing a business, I immediately think, okay, then I do 10 times the amount of work that I do now. But what if there was a way to do about the same amount of work you're doing now, or the same amount of effort, but do it more efficiently, effectively, and reduce the frustration and the time and the effort that you put into it and get more results? What if there was an efficient, direct, easier, simpler way to get there, faster than anything else out there? And the reason that people look for this, actually, you may be experiencing just the opposite in yourself and your business right now, because you and your new recruit are the first thing that new recruits want to say, you know, when they sign up with you is, well, where do I find people to talk to, and what do I say to them? And I'm scared that I'm going to come on too strong, or that I'm not welcome, or that I'm intruding. Or they might feel frustration when they chase people and they don't watch the video, and they kind of duck their appointment checkbacks with them. And or people might be afraid of a no, or they might be afraid they don't know how to handle the objections that come up. Well, we have this method that takes care of all of this stuff that I just mentioned. It wipes it out with the Always Get a Yes when Prospecting script. So take heart, folks. There is a simple, direct method, and this is what we love teaching. Over the last, Jeff Gamble actually evolved this method from real estate and brought this over to network marketing. And he's tried it out himself. It works for him. When I learned a year ago what he was doing, I asked him to come and teach in the school that I've been running for 10 years online, the MLM Millionaire Club School, generic school for network marketers, because I feel a very much of a consciousness to teach the very best that's out there. I used to be a full-time network marketer for years, but now that I'm a dedicated coach and teacher, I must curate and learn from the best network marketing teachers out there and bring those to my students and clients. So when I found out what Jeff was doing a year ago, I asked him to come and teach in the school. And he said yes, and we've been teaching together ever since. So in the last year, we've taught this to about 80 people. And I have gotten spontaneously 65 or more testimonials back, just not asked for, just people writing in. Yes, I've jumped ranks. I've set more appointments than ever before. And I'll share some of those a little bit later with you. But that's the kind of results that we're getting. I'd like to just introduce Jeff a little bit and me, who we are. Jeffrey David Gamble has had 24 years experience in direct sales and network marketing, and he's personally recruited over 500 people frontline, has built teams to over 11,000 in 7 countries in 3 years. I figure all these stats are probably outdated and need to be increased because he's actually done way more than that. His teams have produced over 10 million sales in 3 years, and he also happens to be an entrepreneur with different businesses going at the same time right now with real estate and holistic health, including teaching here in the school. Me, I am Bess McCarty, a holistic health practitioner, body-mind therapist for over 30 years. I have used to be a full-time network marketer, helped me raise my son as a single mom. When my company went out of business, I went into the personal growth field for my own work, my own health, and also to bring this to other people. I chose to niche with working with network marketers because I was one, because you guys are my heroes, because I know this business, you face yourself all the time. It's a real intense personal growth course disguised as a business. And that's my calling, that's my fulfillment. So I'm generic, I will not be in a company. This is my calling, to help as a therapist and coach. So I've personally helped over just hundreds and hundreds of network marketers to break through their fears and negative beliefs to achieve their success and their dreams. I'm also a minister, healer, teacher, martial artist, and many other things like Jeff is too, many other skills that we bring. So with that, I would like to let you hear from Jeff about the method that we're talking so much about, how to invite people, and then how to present to them, that I believe will be a life changer for your business if you choose to use it, like the people who have given the testimonials. And over to you, Jeff.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, I'm going to mute everybody else out because there's a lot of background noise. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us on Sunday. I know it's a holiday weekend, and there was a ton of people that I contacted that are like, I'll be real honest, I'm either going to be traveling with family. Everybody's trying to make the most out of the weekend and week. I know a lot of people that just got out of school with their kids and we're like, hey, this is the last vacation we can take before, the school year's already like starting back. If you go to the stores, it's insane. They're already putting out all the school stuff. I can't believe it. And talk about going to school. So my background is I saw network marketing when I was 17. I was 17 years old and I was at my girlfriend's house sitting on the couch, and eventually her parents walked into the other room, brought out all these brown paper bags, and they were all numbered. And my mom was a school teacher, and so was her mom, so I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was a project for school or something. And all of a sudden, the doorbell rings. And this is probably 4:15. Somebody comes to the door. There's an exchange of words. One of the bags is gone. And this goes on at 4:15, and then it goes on at 4:30, and then 4:45, and then 5. And it goes on like till 8. 8:30, and finally I look over and I'm like, hey, what exactly is going on here? What do your parents do? And she's like, well, my parents own a business and they don't want me to tell you about it. So right away I was intrigued and nervous, to say the least. I was like, oh gosh, what am I getting myself into? So finally I go over and I ask her dad, I was like, what are you guys doing here? Because her dad was sitting at the table at the end of the evening in this pile of cash and checks, and he had kind of like some accounting notebook there with, you know, a slide rule and everything else, and he was, you know, doing up the numbers. And her mom was getting some food ready, and he goes, oh, well, let me take you to the garage and show you. So then I'm really nervous. I don't know what neighborhood you grew up in, but like that was just not, you know, normal. Go to the garage, and he points over at the shelf, and he's like, hey, we're reps for this company. And at that point I asked the question that some of you have asked, you know, well, how does that work, you know? And I wasn't asking like, hey, I'm interested in network marketing. I was asking, you know, how does this work? Because I just didn't understand what he was talking about. And he kind of basically described, he goes, look, you know, there's two ways to market a product. One is traditionally where you hire a marketing firm and a department and you spend a bunch of money in advertising and, you know, you run commercials and, you know, on the top four, you know, this was BC, before computers, you know, before the internet, before cell phones. So the big four, you know, you had radio, you had newspaper, you had magazines, and you had TV, and that was where you advertised. So he's like, you can either do it that way or you can do it through reps. And I was like, okay, I still don't get it. And he actually physically drew it all out, and that was the first time I saw the circles of networking and, you know, how you could build teams. And he got all the way down to 6 figures in the presentation. I was like, wait a minute, you can make $100,000 doing this. And I'm like, yeah. Or he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so if you built each one of these teams 10 times the size that you're showing me, you could actually earn probably close to $1 million or over $1 million. Is that right? He's like, yeah. I don't know why I understood it at 17, but I just got the concept. I like to build things. I liked big picture, and he kind of drew it out. And I said, well, is there anybody here in the state of Indiana, which is where I'm from, that's done 6 figures? And he's like, yeah, actually there is. And I was like, well, do you know them? Could you meet, you know, could you introduce me? And right then I was like already moving up the chain. I was setting up my own appointment. I was setting up my own third-party call. So I just got it. I just understood it. I was looking for something different. The problem is once I got in and got going, then I had the problem of actually exposing and sharing network marketing to other people. And there's a couple different philosophies that I'm going to go over here real quick. And these are the philosophies I heard. I don't know if you've heard these. You know, some people say, and it got confusing, honestly. I mean, I don't know if you've, you know, been in long enough to be confused, but it usually takes about 30 seconds to be confused, because some people are like, you need to pitch the product. It's just the product, and that's all it is. It's just the product. And some people are like, no, you need to pitch the opportunity. If you just pitch the opportunity, if you just pitch the money, you know, it's pitch this, pitch this, pitch this, and there's all these different philosophies, and I don't know about you, but I got confused. I went to meeting after meeting after meeting, and every time I went to one of these seminars with one of these gurus who had made a lot of money, everybody said they did it a different way. And I was just like, okay. But what's funny is everybody said they did it a different way, and then everybody talked about duplication, and how everybody's supposed to do it the same. And I'm like, okay, what am I missing here? Everybody's doing it differently, but saying do it the same. I'm like, are they talking out of both sides of their mouth? Like, what's going on? So if you're confused up until now, and you're kind of lost in the system, join the club. That's where I was too. Eventually, I tried some of these methods, and I don't know if you've tried some of these methods. I went with the product and dropping off stuff, and hey, would you be interested, and would you like to try? And when I did those, I just got a plethora of different, like, objections from, you know, I don't like those things, that's not my cup of tea, what is that? You know, people were literally scarfing down a Big Mac, French fries, a Diet Coke, because they were trying to, you know, saving calories, and they would grab my product and they would look at it and they'd start reading the label of, you know, is it healthy or is it good for them as they're eating toxic waste, which was kind of, you know, ironic and coincidental at the same time. I laughed, but I was like, okay, the objections coming back at me were just hysterical. You know, they're like, well, I've never heard of this. I don't know about this. You have to be careful. You know, you have to be careful as they're eating toxic waste. You have to be careful in what you put in your body. I'm like, yeah, obviously you're real concerned. But I saw these incongruencies, and then I saw the backlash of trying to approach just with the product. And I'll be real honest, I didn't get in to push a product. And I don't know what you got in for, but I didn't get in to push a product upon people. So then I started looking at the business opportunity side. So they said, you know, all you need to say is, hey, I have a home-based business. I heard that. You know, just tell them, hey, I have a home-based business. Are you interested in home-based business? That was like one of the first things. And then, hey, are you interested in working from home? You know, it went from home-based business to, are you interested in working from home? And then I also heard, are you open to an opportunity? You know, are you open to looking at opportunity? So I got these kind of backlashes. Well, what is it? Well, where does it come from? Well, who's behind it? It's not one of these sales things. I don't like sales. It's not one of those rinky-dink, Mickey Mouse, mom and pop, you know, me and my wifey are doing this thing on the side. It's not one of these side things. Nowadays, people call it a side hustle. Hustles usually are illegal, by the way. So using, I have a side hustle. Hustles usually are illegal. So what you're saying is I'm operating an illegal business out of my house. It sounds like you're dealing drugs. But I've also heard that method. Which, you know, I mean, it's like, and what I heard is if you do enough of anything, it works. But what I kept getting back is that's not really the image that I want. And what I found is people are scared to death to even get started, to tell their friends anything, because they've seen all this weird negative backlash from the stuff people are using and stuff that, you know, they're getting back. And eventually I looked at these two, you know, these two philosophies, the product or the money. And what I realized is for me, I'm not in this to push a product. You know, the products I've used, I've liked. The products I've used have helped me, but I'm a business person, and I didn't get in network marketing to sell a product. In fact, if you got in network marketing just to sell a product and you look at the sales process, contact, invite, present, follow up, close. If you look at just the basics of that's a sales process to sell anything. If you're in network marketing to sell a product, you're actually financially not that smart. And the reason I say you're not that smart is because if you look across the board at the top leaders of 99.9% of businesses, there are no people earning multiple six figures in the industry selling products. They've all built a business. Now, what have they built a business of? They built a business of consumers. Yes, there is a product move. By the way, if there's not a product that's moving through the business, then you're operating an illegal pyramid or an illegal scam, which is not good. So there has to be a product that moved. Let's get that right. So what I was looking for is a business model that had a legitimate product, that had a legitimate comp plan, that had good people in it, that I could go out and build a network of people. So what I wanted to do is build a network of people who used, consumed, and marketed, not sold, marketed a product. Now, what's the difference between sold? If I'm selling something, I'm asking, are you interested? Are you interested? Are you interested? Well, no. Are you interested? No. Are you interested? No. And you get that constant backlash. Marketing is different. Marketing is I'm going to let you know about this, so if you run into somebody, you can refer me. And eventually, as Beth said, I went to a real estate seminar because I was building my real estate company, and I'm an investor, real estate investor. I flip homes, and now we're looking at flipping commercial property, which is the next, you know, fun game. But as I was doing that, I ran across this seminar in real estate. And the seminar in real estate, hold on, just muting this person out. The seminar in real estate was about referrals. And this one particular gentleman in real estate that was running this seminar said, well, the way that I go about contacting everybody, I'm sorry, I'm trying to mute them out, and they're unmuting themselves again and again. So you have to stay muted out throughout this. What happened to me over and over again was as I was at the seminar, and what I realized, he said this. He's like, rather than trying to sell everybody a house, why not let everybody know what you do and exactly what you're looking for? So if they know of somebody that's going to buy, they know of somebody that's going to sell, or they know of somebody that's going to invest, they could refer them to you. And I was like, that totally makes sense. And then I thought, why in the world are we not doing that? If it's called network marketing, why are we not marketing? Why are we trying to network sell? But that's what most people do. They're trying to network sell. And if you look at all the approaches and all the pitches in the industry, it's basically, hey, would you be interested in what I'm doing? Let me send you some information. Let me send you some information because I want to know if you are interested. And when I looked at the marketing, it's like, I don't care if you're interested or not. I want you to know what I do so you can refer it to me, which is a very different philosophy. It's marketing versus sales. Marketing is I want you to know what I'm doing, so if you run into the right person, you can refer me. Sales is I am trying to get you to buy, or I'm trying to get you interested. And what I realized is when you approach people directly with a sale, their objections go up. And when you approach people with marketing like, hey, this is what I'm doing, I don't care what you're doing. And understand, it's not that I don't care. That's not the point of this. The point is not are you interested or are you not. The point is I'm trying to market. Marketing means you're trying to get the message out to a ton of people so that way you can identify the right people and bring it back. It made it much easier. So yes, you're kind of doing the exact same thing, but let me share with you the results of this. When I was approaching people with are you interested, are you open to an opportunity, are you looking to buy, are you looking to sell, what I did again and again and again was try to hard sell people. And that didn't work out real well. And when I say that didn't work out real well, I got a ton of objections back. People were like, no, not interested, I'm not looking, is this network marketing, what company is it with, all those objections. When I said this, hey, do me a huge favor, I want to share with you what I'm doing, so if you run into the right person, you can refer them to me, the same people who told me they're not interested were like, yeah, what are you doing? So what I realized from psychology is people always want to know. They always want to know what's going on. The reason they always want to know what's going on is because nothing travels faster than gossip. Nothing travels faster than what's happening because everybody wants to be in a position, everybody wants to be in a situation to know what's going on. So you're using and working with psychology. Hey, I want to tell you what I'm doing now outside of my full-time thing. So you can kind of identify, hey, I'm doing something outside of what I'm doing full-time. And I don't tell them I'm trying to build a fortune instead of build a living or any of the network marketing lingo garbage. Guys, do not use things that raise and build walls that you have to climb over later. When you say the word opportunity, when you say the word business, when you say the word I'm going to help show you a way to make money, all of those things build walls. Because as soon as you start talking money, opportunity, home-based business, people's walls go up because basically what you're saying is, I'm coming in to sell. I'm coming in to close. Even though you're like, oh, I'm just excited about the product. Yes, but the way you make money in these companies is you move and sell products. So when you come at it with, hey, I want to share with you what I'm doing outside of this, so if you run into the right person, you can refer me, it takes the immediate, like, I'm not looking at you off of them. And you also identified exactly what you want from them. You want them to listen, you want them to understand, and you want them to refer. That's it. Now, does it make sense that if I'm able to do that, then I need information to get in front of them, which means, and this is kind of, there's two pieces. There's A, getting in the door, and what I mean by getting in the door is A, getting somebody to listen. There's a method or a science to getting somebody to listen, and the science behind it is saying the right words. The art of it is the timing, right? The art of it is the timing. Obviously, and I'll just tell you something that happened to me today. I had somebody approach me and they said, hey, I see you're getting a lot of results. Because I've posted results of what's been happening lately in this new run, in this new company that we're getting. And we've recruited about 40 people frontline in the first 100 days. That's about 75 total people on the team. And we've earned thousands of dollars in the first 100 days, part-time, outside of the other 3 companies we run. So I'm getting a lot of people who are asking me, hey, how are you doing that? What method are you using? And here's what I tell them. I said, well, I'm doing things a little bit differently than what's being taught. And I said, well, if you're open, I'd love to be able to share with you what I'm doing and what's going on. And everything I said was right. It was correct. Here's the problem. When I said, are you available to talk right now? She's like, I'm at a funeral. I'm like, you're at a funeral right now? She's like, yes. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm sorry for whose ever loss this is, because she didn't identify if it was family, friends, relatives, whatever. But she's at a funeral. I said the right things, but the timing was wrong. So therefore I said, get back to me another day. She's like, great. So it's just, there's a science to it, which is saying the right words, and then there's an art to it of the right timing and being able to clear the time. Since she approached me, I kind of went for the timing was good and I was wrong, which begs me to answer the question what she was doing like in the funeral, texting me to begin with. But it's just the way it worked out. So those two things. Once you get that part down and you can get in front of people, and let's say she was available, the second part is, do you have a presentation that you can give that explains what you do and sounds like you're giving information and not trying to close them? And what I found is most people do not know how to do that. The reason being is the industry teaches not to do that. And here's what I can say about that is I found that the people who are really recruiting the most people are not doing what's being told from stage. And I can back this up with leader after leader after leader. I've recently gotten calls from 3 different people who have made anywhere between $500,000 to about $10 million in the industry, and every one of them used my approach on me. But from stage, they're actually telling people to just send out websites. So if you've been told just to send out a website, and you've sent out a website to, anywhere between 3 people to 300 to 3,000 people, and you're not getting the results you want, I'm going to share something with you right now that will be probably eye-opening. If I'm a real estate agent, and I don't care if I'm a real estate agent in the United States, Canada, Mexico, India, wherever, if I'm a real estate agent and I'm trying to sell a house, and you call me looking for a house, and I say, well, I'm new, I can't show you anything, I can't tell you anything, I'm just going to send you a website, and you look at it, and then if you're interested in doing that, call me back and let me know. What do you think would be your opinion of that real estate agent? And I've asked this across the board, and everybody says, well, I'd never use that real estate agent. I said, why? I said, was it because you don't like them? They said, no, it's because they don't seem knowledgeable about what they're doing, and I'm not going to risk or invest my time, energy, and money with somebody who doesn't know what's going on. And I'm like, yeah, that totally makes sense to me too. And I said, well, let's change it. Let's say it's an insurance person. Let's say you call a friend for insurance, and the insurance person you call says, look, I'm new. I can't tell you anything about insurance. The only thing I can do is send you over this website, and it'll explain everything, and then if you're interested, I'll get you on the phone with somebody else. Would you use that insurance agent? And every single person has told me no. And I said, why? And I said, was it because they were rude? No. Was it because you don't like them? No. They said, it's because they don't seem like they don't comprehend what industry they're in. Like you're telling me they have no training, and I said that's funny that you would say no to the realtor that does that. You'd say no to the insurance person that does that. You'd say no to the financial services. You'd say no to the car salesman that does that. But then you get in network marketing and think, oh, I want somebody to join my business, but you're not allowed to say anything, and you're just supposed to send them information. Does that not seem weird to you? And they said, well, I guess I never thought of it. I said, because the millionaires on stage are telling you that's how it works. Well, I tracked back most of these millionaires. And what I mean by track back is I was like, well, how did they get to where they're at? I'm not interested in what they're teaching now from stage. I'm interested in how they got to that income. And here's what I found. A lot of them, in fact, the majority of them, made their money before the internet really was there. And, and here's the thing, even if they've made $1 million in a new company since, are they brand new in that company, or did they come from another company, or did they come from another industry where they already made that money? Meaning they already had the influence, which is, a different thing. But we're talking about from scratch. Most of these people had already made. And when I tracked it back, I was having a conversation with one guy in particular who was a millionaire. He had built to $1 million in 3 years. Couple 100,000 people on his team, and I asked him, because he was on stage promoting, send the video. Send him a video. Give him a video. That's how you do this. You just give out 2 videos a day. That's how you make all the money. And I was like, cool, how did you get to $1 million? He goes, well, exactly what I'm telling you, 2 videos. And I said, but you just said you got in on this date, and then 5 years later this video came out. You hit in 3 years. So what video were you sending people if it didn't even exist for 2 years after you hit that income? And he walked away. And the reason he walked away is because he didn't have an answer, and there were a bunch of other people standing around at that point. I was trying to have a one-on-one conversation, and I wasn't trying to kick him. And I wasn't trying to punch him in the face. I was just trying to get the right answer from him. Later on, I listened to enough information by this individual that I found out is he had spent years, the first 3 years, on the phone saying, let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing. And he covered 5 things. And I'm going to give you the 5 things that you cover inside of a presentation right now. The number 1 thing you cover is the company itself. You have to make the person understand that the company is financially secure, because who would want to get in with an unsecure and unworthy company? Somebody who doesn't have the backing. People want to be around, and you want to get involved with a company that has the backing, that's going to be around, that can survive the ups and downs. You want a company that has knowledgeable people in it. You want a company and know where it's located. A physical location is kind of a nice thing, someplace that you can actually go see, because people like that. It sounds cool to say everything's virtual, but in the end, people like a physical location. So I found there's about a half a dozen things you want to cover with telling people about the company. Who's behind it, where it started, when it started, where the location, where it's gone, you know, if you're in 10 countries, if you're in 1 country, where you're at, and what kind of volume you're doing. Right? I mean, you just want to know about a half a dozen things. And I just want to know, as a person, is this a financially stable company? That's something you want to do. You want to get in business with financial stability. The second thing all of these millionaires that I've met covered was the need in the marketplace. If you're selling weight loss in America, it's not hard to talk about the need. Why? Because 1/3 of America is obese and 2/3 of America is overweight. I mean, that's a pretty easy one, you know, 350 million people, about 100 million people are obese. That means you're over 25 pounds past where you should be. Now, what does obesity lead to? Well, obesity leads to diabetes, obesity leads to cancer, obesity leads to heart disease, obesity leads to, I mean, there's a number of things, and all of those things that we're listing are the top things that kill people. So wouldn't it make sense that if you have a product that helps out with that would be a need in the marketplace? Yeah, but we have competition. What are the competition? What else is out there? And how much is our product versus the other product? So the need in the marketplace kind of describes what the need is. And again, it could be 1 or 2 or a half a dozen things. If it's over half a dozen things, it's too much. About a half a dozen points. And it doesn't matter what industry. If you're in skincare, if you're in, you know, makeup, if you're in, you know, I mean, there's just, the industry's pretty broad, right? So what is the need in the marketplace that you solve? That would be a good thing to know, wouldn't it? Because you could lead with that. If you wanted to talk to somebody and say, well, you know, the need in the marketplace made a lot of sense to me. I like the fact that the company's stable, but the need in the marketplace, that's what really hit me, is people need this. So I want to be in something, watch this, I want to be in something that people actually need. I mean, wouldn't that make sense? I mean, it says you can get wealthy if you find a need and you fill it. So I want to find a need. That's the second thing. The third thing is the product itself. Again, half a dozen things. This is where people will either say way too much or way too little. The product's great. I love it. I like it. It's, you know, it's this, it's that, and it's all personal. Instead of, well, you know, the product was made by these guys. Here's how it's made, what it's made. You know, sometimes the ingredients are important, sometimes it's not. You know, I hear the same basic pitch every time. You know, it's colorless, odorless, you know, GMO, non-this, non-that, non-paraben, you know, biodegradable, non-nuclear, you know, I mean, there's just a lot of things that people say, which are kind of important and kind of not, but, you know, here's the product, here's what it's done. Here's the product, here's what it's done. So I think this is where the testimonial is really good. You know, I don't know everything that's in it, but I know that so-and-so took it and they lost 10 pounds. I don't know everything that's in it, but I know so-and-so took it and they had more energy. I don't know so-and-so took it, but, you know, they had receding hair and now they have hair, you know. So it just kind of depends on what your product is, what the product itself is, and then it's okay to discuss, you know, if it makes sense, what the comparisons are. You know, well, I know there's a bunch of other products out here, but I wanted to be involved in something that has the need in the marketplace that's new. I wanted to be involved in something that is cutting edge. I wanted to be involved in the, you know, what's up to date. Because some of these things have been around forever. You know, or that might be the selling point. You know, there's new things out there, but I wanted to be around something that's stable, something that's been around forever, something that people are using. Do you see how you can use that either way? And this is Sales 101. People are like, oh my gosh, he's describing our company. And if you think that, that's just because I know a lot of these companies marketing plans, and I know a lot of the companies' pitches, and I know a lot of the companies what they say and what they don't say. Our company has all the vitamins. Our company has all the minerals. Our company has this certain mixture that was made on Tuesday in the jungle. I mean, it just depends on what your company is. The fourth thing is the compensation, and this is where people lose their mind. And what I mean by lose their mind is they're like, oh my gosh, there's so much, I don't know how to describe this. And here's the thing, would you actually want to get involved in business? Remember, you're asking them to join a business. Would you want to get involved in a business? And the banker's like, how do you make money? And nobody at the table can explain how you make money in the company. I mean, think about this. Would you loan somebody else your money if their plan was, I have no idea how this company makes money? You wouldn't lend your money, would you? So it'd be really good to understand the basics. You don't have to understand everything. I don't need to know the triple diamond elite bonus car plan on Tuesday. If you hit this level and there's 900 people in your I don't need to know that. That's irrelevant. But I do need to know, hey, what is the percentage? What is the difference between retail and wholesale? That would be a good thing to know. How many customers do I need to get my product free? That would be a good thing to know. How much volume do I have to produce to get my customers free if that's part of your program? That would be a good thing to know. It would be good to know that you can buy retail. It would be good to know that you can buy wholesale. And it would be good to know that you can get in business. Those three things. And how many people would you need, or how much volume would you need to do? Watch this. This is important. To get your money back. Did you know that 70% of people make a decision to join based on the fact that they can make their money back? And if you haven't told them that, if you haven't told people specifically, guys, you need 3 people to make your money back. 3. Now, that might be 3 customers or 3 reps. I don't know what your company is. Some people it's 6. Some people it's 25. Just depends on what the company is. But that would be a good thing to know. Because if 70% of the people make their decision based on that, that'd be good to know. Do you need to know about how the overrides work? No. Do you need to know about every passive income? No. Do you have to know about the residual chart and what algorithm they're using? No. That's all irrelevant. That doesn't matter. Guys, there are people in the company making $1,000 a month. There's people in the company making $1,000 a week, and we have a couple smart aleck people that make $1,000 plus a day. Do you need to tell anybody that somebody's made $1.2 million in a month? No, because it is not impressive. In fact, you're probably doing an injustice to that person because it becomes unbelievable. Us in the industry, if you're telling network marketer, we have a guy that makes $1.2 million a month, that sounds cool. Wow, that's awesome. But if you tell the outside world that somebody's doing that, it doesn't sound believable. You sound crazy. Which is why you never see it in a marketing plan. It's only the reps that are putting it out there. Does that make sense? So, we talked about the company. We talked about the need in the marketplace. We talked about the product. We talked a little bit about the compensation. There's 3 ways to make money. There's retail. You can buy retail. You can buy wholesale and make a little bit of money if you market this to a couple people. Or you can actually become a rep of the company, and people call it different things. Some people call it an IBO, some people call it an agent, some people call it a distributor, some people call it, everybody has a different name, but it's kind of the same thing. You become a rep of the company. You join the company. The last thing is, the 5th thing, is the timing and the talent. The timing is, here's where we're at. We're this big, or we're this big. We're just taking off, or we've already taken over. What is it? That'd be a good thing for people to know. We're established. We're brand new. Where are you at in the timing phase? The talent. If you're new, we've got some new people who are doing really well. If you've been around forever, we've got so many people on the books doing well, it's self-evident. Anybody could make it here because we've got the list of people who have made it. Those 5 things. You don't have to be good at the presentation. What you have to do is be able to give it. You don't have to have my personality. You don't have to have Bess's personality. The only thing you need to have is your personality and cover all 5 of those points. Here's what I'm looking for or listening for. Once you get good at that presentation, once you say that, doesn't it make sense if you did that presentation every single day, that you would get good at that presentation? Now, some people have that presentation in their back office. It's in PowerPoint form, and you just need to condense it because normally it's 45 minutes, and it's at an open house. It's at a hotel setting, and there's webinars on it, and it's a big long presentation. You need the 10-minute version. Just the highlight. I want to give enough information where somebody's interested and knows. What do they need to know? They need to know the company's solid, there is an actual need, they need to know what products we have and what they cost. They need to know that we have a compensation plan and how to get in and get started, and they need to know what the cost is to get started. If you finish and they don't know what it costs to get rolling, then you've missed something. At the end, I can ask them this. So now that you know what I do, great. Remember what we asked them in the beginning. Do me a favor. I want to tell you about what I'm doing, so if you run into the right person, you can refer me. That's what we ask people. Then we tell them, hey, this is a little bit about the company. Here's the product, or the need. Here's the product. Here's the compensation. Here's the timing. Now that you know what I do you need any more information? I mean, so if you run into anybody you want to refer me, obviously we're looking for customers. Obviously we're looking for reps. Do you need any more information on the product and or the opportunity? What if they say yes? Yeah, I want some more information on it. Great. Now, a video would be good, right? A video would be great. A video would be convenient because if I'm talking to them at midnight because I just got off of work, or I'm talking to them at lunch and I need to go back to work, or I'm talking to them on a Sunday and I know nobody's available, or I'm talking to them at the beach or wherever, I can just say, hey, let me shoot you over the rest of the information. You can then, and watch this. If the information of the video is the expanded version of what you just said, it's congruent and it looks like everybody's on the same page. I've had people where I know they're not interested, and I say, do me a favor, and then I'm able to give them the 10-minute overview, and then I ask them, do you want any more information? And they're like, yeah, actually, I do want to know exactly how that works, because you said something that I had never heard before. I had heard other people. I've been approached before by things, but you said something in here that made sense to me, and I want to just clarify. Okay, great. I'll get you the video over. They go watch the video, and they call me back, and they're like, what's your link to sign up? That was all they needed. That's all they needed. They just needed to clarify something, and they're in. I always do two-prong approach. I said, well, if you're interested more about the business, I want to get you this video, but I also would like to introduce you to somebody. Doesn't that sound normal instead of the crazy stuff I've heard people do? Oh, my gosh, I want to introduce you to this intergalactic, mentor, amazing couple that walks on water and glows in the dark and eats fish sticks, 25. I just heard the weirdest stuff how people promote people. Hey, I also want to introduce you to somebody. They're doing really well in the company. It's so normal. It's so normal. People are like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, sure. And I'll introduce them through three-way text. For instance, if it was Joyce, I'd say, hey, Joyce, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine that's doing really well in the company. And then I'd text Bess and Joyce and me together. I say, hey, Joyce, this is my good friend Bess. Bess has done really well with our company. Her background is, she's from Hays, Kansas. And, I just wanted you guys to connect and you to be able to kind of share, Bess, if you could please share your story with Joyce and let her know, what the company's done for you and how it's helped and who you've been able to help. And by the way, Joyce, this is Bess. This is a good friend of mine, and vice versa. And then watch this. I let it go. No need to jump on the phone. No need to track anybody down. No need to hunt anybody. Simple. Very simple. And when I say I want to introduce you to them, they're like, cool. It doesn't sound weird. It doesn't sound like a pressured sales thing. So that's kind of the process. I contact people with a favor. I present to them watch this, over the phone? Are you kidding me? You can do this over the phone? Why hasn't anybody ever told me this? Well, typically in most businesses, the site to belong to that sells the information, the site to belong to that sends the video. See, there's this sale thing that people want to do. The big meetings, they want to sell as many people in as possible. And if they tell you you never need to talk, they'll get more people. If they tell you all you have to do is send 2 videos out and you'll get to the top of the company, they sign more people up. Understand, it's sales. They're selling you into the company. But Have you ever met anybody? Isn't it interesting that when you start hunting around online, you start talking to people at your meetings, and you say, I'm sending out the video. Are you getting anybody? They're like, I'm not getting anybody. I'm not getting anybody. Well, let's ask the third, fourth, fifth person. Are they getting anybody? Well, it doesn't seem like anybody there is getting anybody either. I wonder how the person in the front room did this, because obviously somebody's getting in. All of us are here. Then I start asking, well, how are you introduced? Well, how are you introduced? Well, how are you introduced? And 9 out of 10 people talk to somebody. And then they watched the video, and then they showed up at a meeting, and then they got started. So that's kind of what we teach. That's what the process is. So I shared this with Bess, and I said, Bess, this would be great if we put this into a school, into a class. She's like, well, I have a school and I have a class. I said, yeah, but we need to take this information. This is what I was going to start it anyway. And she's like, well, what if we just combined efforts? I have part of the group and part of the, rapport with a ton of people, and I feel that if we combine forces and we would share this information with a group of people, I said, here's how we'll know it worked. We'll have results. We'll have results right away. In the first 90 days, we'll have results. And I want to say in the first 90 days out of 30 people, we had at least 4, we had over 10% that were able to promote, not just recruit, not just sell. They were able to promote in their company. We had somebody get their car bonus right away. We had people moving up. We had people moving up so fast, they're like, hey, I can't be on, you got to send me the recordings. I can't even attend. I'm moving so fast now, I can't even be here. It was effective. It was very effective. Now we've been doing it about a year. And it's amazing. I mean, we've got a list of people, like she said, over 30 testimonials of people who are succeeding. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back over to Bess, because I know she has a couple people who have really, really hit some high levels in their company, who are doing well, who'd just like to share with you what this has done using this technique. Bess, turn this back over to you.
All right, definitely we are here to change lives. And that's actually 65 testimonials that came back of 80 people over a year that we've been testing this out in the field with. 65 testimonials that just floated across my desk with not even asking for it. So we thought, okay, it works. And every time somebody jumps a rank or has a success or even signs up their first recruit that they'd ever have in their life, we jump for joy. Okay, that's why we're doing this. So would like to, the people that we personally really like to help is so parents can be home with their kids, so seniors can feel secure about their retirement, so employees can quit bad bosses and jobs, and students can pay off their loans, or anybody can pay off loans. My goodness, these are the type of people that we're here to help. And so I'd like to bring on Dr. Chris Inamoto, who is one of the students in the school who's been getting some results, and he's been bringing his team just like Joyce has, and would like to unmute Dr. Chris at 808 and hear what difference, how has this changed your business?
Oh, it's changed it tremendously. For example, it's really helped decrease a lot of the fear and anxiety of approaching people. The favor script has worked flawlessly, and being able to teach that to other people on my team has helped my team grow. And I've also been teaching that with other distributors in my company. So I'm here to help others just pay it forward, and really going over or nailing down my 10-minute presentation has helped tremendously also. But when I rate myself, the first thing I did when I started the classes, I rated myself on the 10 core basics, which everybody will learn. And then I keep kind of rating it periodically. And they all have increased in all of the areas, which has been tremendous. And then I really like how your system works in the 5 laws of the duplication. So anybody thinking about taking advantage of this class, I highly recommend it. It'll change your business and it'll change your lives.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chris. So yeah, what are we selling here? We're giving away this class, but what are we selling? We're selling our classes, which I'll tell you about in a few minutes. I just want to make a point, though, about something about this, the 10-minute presentation, this method. It is 100% duplicatable, you guys. It's easy. One of the reasons that many people in the profession recommended the videos or, a link or something like that instead of you is they're worried that you won't say it right, or that, it's easy. They'll think, oh, anybody could do that. Well, what we're recommending is you write this 10-minute presentation up with those 5 components of the company, the need, the product, the comp plan, and the timing, that you write that out from your company compliant material. And instead of the video saying it, you say it. You give them you. You connect with them and show them that you do know something about this. And then once you get it written up, you just hand that down. But, send that out to all of your frontline. Have them send it to their frontline. Therefore, it's duplicatable. So you just send them the favor script itself to get in front of people, because it's so easy to get in front of people that way, where usually people would say no. You get in front of them and you get the referral, and then you do the 10-minute presentation, and you send both those things, the invite script and the 10-minute presentation. You've written it from your company compliant material. You send that out, and so it's perfectly duplicatable. It's like, wow, this just makes it so easy, paves the way, it never gets an objection, never gets a no, and works with all personalities, genders, and all that stuff. We're going to have a book giveaway in a few minutes. First, I want to let you know what a few more people are saying, and then about the classes. Then we'll have the book giveaway, and then if you wish, we can stay on afterward and take questions. So if you have a question, jot it down so you can remember it, and we will go through that in just a minute. Other results that people are getting. One friend I met at Eric Orr's GoPro, that Mike Limmer, we sat next to each other when I shared with him what we're doing. He said, I tried that out, and he said, was somebody who already said no to network marketing? And the person's, but he would listen to it, just like Jeff said. He would listen to that, to the 10-minute presentation. And when he was done, he said the person was not only very interested, gave him a referral, but the person was very interested themselves. So he said, that's like a 2-for-1. Thank you so much for this script. And Michelle, the rest I'm going to read stories or results that people are getting, who, like Dr. Chris and Joyce, are actually students in our school. So here is Michelle Garrett. She said, I signed up 2 business partners and have a few more that are so close. Thank you for the yes script. David Peters, I jumped a rank in my company, sponsored 3 reps and 1 customer in 7 days. Using this method, and I only spoke to 4 people. Those 4. And he said, I had my wife use the script to book a presentation with her sister. It worked. His wife has never successfully contacted anyone before. Liz Dickerson from Washington says, I signed up a new rep. They advanced me to promoter and gave me an honorable mention. I attribute it to the classes. Thank you for the huge help so much for all your encouragement and giving me more confidence. Tammy White, I did it. With your help, I double promoted this month. Thank you for the confidence to persist. I quadrupled my sales and got a new car bonus. I couldn't have done it without these methods. This script gave me the simple, concise, condensed verbiage to use. Doris Haskins, my business has become effortless, doing more presentations and getting more quality recruits. And Dr. Chris, when he jumped a rank recently, he wrote us and said, thank you. So congratulations to everyone who's doing this, changing lives, not just your life, but other people's lives. Where else is there a better business than network marketing and better chance to have a better life? There is no better business in the world. I challenge anyone to tell me a better business. And I know no better method of presenting and recruiting than this. I challenge anyone to show me a better method that gets better, faster results. So guess what? I think we're sitting right at the best of the best of the best right here. The best business in the world, the best methods. That's why I love bringing this to you. When I found out what Jeff was doing, and why we've been having so much fun helping people to change their lives, and then reach out and helping other people to change lives. The people that I mentioned, if you think parents want to be home with their kids, seniors want a better retirement, they're the biggest growing bunch of segment in network marketing right now is the baby boomers. And people would like to get out of debt, stop giving all that interest to the banks. And people that need to get away from bad jobs, bad bosses, that takes care of like 95% of people that you know. So you have a way to help them. But use the best way. You don't need to sort through all the trial and error that it's taken Jeff 24 years to get to. or any of the other top earners. You can go faster. That's why we're breaking records right now in network marketing. You can break records. You don't have to go the slow way anymore. What is the cost to you if you don't use these methods or learn about more that we have to share with you, equally powerful things that we have to share with you in our classes? What's the cost to you? Probably that you stay where you are, right? But what would it cost you in the future? How much more could you make in the next 6 months or by the rest of your life if you were to be able to 10x your presentations that you do, the customers that you get, the leaders that you recruit, and your team is able to do the same? How much more would you make in the next 6 months from doing this, or to the end of your life even? How much more would you make if you were even to double what you do now? How much would that be worth to you? So how much is a shortcut worth to you? You know, not only the method that you learned for free today, but all the other methods and best practices that we know in network marketing. You know, what would you be able to make by the end of your life with this? For many people, it's thousands and even millions. And the cost to them if they don't put these things into action, thousands or millions of dollars between now and the end of their life. But there's another cost too, and that's the peace of mind, health, the better life they could have given themselves or their family. And for some people, how they change the world, how they donate to make changes in the world. So you can find out, this stuff is written down. It's in a book called Always Get a Yes, and it's on pages 5 to 12 of that book. You can get that, it's an ebook, you can get that for only $17. Or you can join our class for $25 a month, which covers this and a whole lot more that Dr. Chris mentioned. We cover the 10 core commitments, the 10 fundamentals, the 10 foundations that have proven for decades to create top earners in network marketing. These are proven, true, old school methods using social media and new school avenues within it, but still we keep going back to the basics. As Tony Robbins says, repetition is the mother of success, and we go back to these old tried and true basics again and again. People get in our classes know that they are getting everything that they need to succeed, and when they get the repetition, the stories, the training. These classes are on Sunday nights, 90 minutes after the lesson. We turn off the recording. We have open coaching for people. These are weekly. How much is the classes? They used to be $100 a month. We've lowered them to $25 a month because we want everybody to be able to afford to get in here. Now, if you join today, I'll tell you the link if y'all want to join today. It's at mlmmillionaireclub.com/basics, mlmmillionaireclub.com/basics. And if you join today, you get the book free. That Always Get a Yes book where this is written out, you get that included free. So it's kind of a no-brainer, $17 versus $25 a month, but it is ongoing. There have actually, would you believe there have been people in the school for years and years because they like it, they're getting results. And we encourage you to stay in, make yourself some money, get yourself some success, learn it until you can teach your team. But come on and try it out. There is no contract. You can quit any time. There's no risk really. You can get in. Actually, we have a class tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and this will be the core number 6 of the 10, how to do a weekly presentation. And I think you will love that. If you want to get the book itself, you can get that at mlmmillionaireclub.com/yes. You want to get the class, which I hope to see you tonight. That'd be cool. Then mlmmillionaireclub.com/basics. Because it's called our Quick Start Basics class on Sunday nights. We have another class within the school, a Wednesday night Inner Circle Leadership class. We can tell you about that later if you want to learn more about it. So let's see if there's any questions that I can see right away. Oh, thanks, Jeff. Jeff posted the link for the people who are online here. And awesome. So I think that it's time for the book giveaway, and then we'll stay online if y'all have any questions. How's that?
That sounds like a plan. I actually have to go here in 2 minutes because I was planned on 5 o'clock, so I have an appointment I have to get to, so there will be no Q&A after this. I've got to run, but what I was able to do is Patrick Rodriguez, which was Junior, was the first person on, and he's still here, so we do have a book for him. Also, Dr. Chris and Joyce, thank you so much for joining us. We also have a book for you, and then Marty and Denise Ray. So we have 5 books going out. The book that we have, I don't know if you have this one, is John C. Maxwell's Winning with People. And then we also have Becoming a Person of Influence. So I'm going to contact each person because I have your information. If you want to instant message me at Jeffrey David Gamble, I'll need to grab an address so that way obviously we can send those out. We appreciate you guys being on here. Thank you so much for joining us. If the class is something for you, great. If it's something that you can pass along to some other people, we'd appreciate that. You know, do us the favor, just like what we taught here. Do us the favor. Our objective is to let people know about who we are and what we do. So that way, if you do run into the right person inside of direct sales, inside of network marketing, you get contacted by people in other companies. You know, pass them our way, see if we can help them out, especially the people who contact you the wrong way, and you're like, oh my gosh, you did this so wrong. You say, hey, I have somebody you absolutely positively need to meet, need to talk to, and then pass them along. We'd appreciate that, and hopefully we can do the same back for you. So with that, I'm going to turn this back over to Bess to close out, and that is a wrap.
We will send out the replay to everyone so you can hear this again, and the people who missed it can hear it too. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you on the class tonight. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.